In this video, I will show you step by step how to write a resume in 2026. So I will walk you through exactly what to write from top to bottom within just 10 minutes. Now let's get started with the resume template. Should we use a 1-column template, a 2-column template, a 2-column layout with color and a profile picture, or maybe even a 3-column design with multiple colors and a profile picture? Well, to answer that question, I reached out to 820 big tech recruiters by creating personalized Loom videos for each one of them. Every recruiter received a video via LinkedIn chat, like you see here. And although most didn't respond at first, I followed up with a message asking which resume template they would recommend. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Eventually, over 100 recruiters from companies like Apple, Google, Microsoft, Tesla, and many more replied. Take this one for example, a recruiter from Amazon who said, unquestionably template 1. Or this recruiter from OpenAI who replied, 1 for sure. You can see the pattern. Most recruiters pick template 1 because it's ATS friendly and easier to read from top to bottom. The first resume is the least distracting, this recruiter at Tesla responds. He also added that his answer isn't an official Tesla opinion, but his own. And just to be clear, that goes for all the messages I received. These are personal opinions, not official company statements. Anyway, let me show you how to get a free resume template with the exact format recruiters like to see. Now, you can go to my resume store via the link in the description, and you will see 2 1-column versions in my store. One is free and the other is a paid version. Now, I also have this 2-column version, as some recruiters recommend such layout for more creative roles, like that of a designer. But for this tutorial, we go for the free version. Let's see. Okay. And over here you can just enter 0. Click Add to Cart. Then enter your email address, like so. Press Get. And finally, Open Templates. Next, we are redirected to Google Drive, where we will select the single-page template. Now, make sure you're logged into your Google account, so you can download it as a Word file or make a copy in Google Docs. Leave the name as it is for now. Open the folder so you can save it to your own drive. And click Make a Copy. Perfect. Now you have your own customizable template. Next, it's time to take a look at the resume header section. First, we start with your name, then your job title, followed by your city and state, date of birth, phone number, a professional email address, a link to your LinkedIn profile, and optionally, a link to your portfolio website. Now, you don't have to include all of this information. Some people prefer to leave out their date of birth, or don't have or need a portfolio. But a link to your LinkedIn profile is definitely important because recruiters want to see the person behind the resume. That also means you need to make sure your profile photo looks clear, friendly, and professional. Now, once you make changes in the header, it might disrupt the formatting, but you can easily drag these invisible borders left or right to keep everything on 2 lines. The same happens when you increase the font size of your name. You can just put the cursor here and use custom spacing to restore the alignment. You see? Now let me undo all of this and continue to the resume summary section. Now this is one of the most misunderstood sections of a resume, and I would only include a summary if it adds clarity. So for someone with little to no experience, you could include a short sentence like this. For example, if the role says entry level and you use that same word followed by the exact job title, we immediately think, okay, this could be a fit. When you then add a few relevant skills pulled straight from the job description, you've got our attention. And the best part is that this is easy to adjust for each application. Now let me show you an example for someone with experience. In this example, recruiters immediately understand the level of seniority just from the number of the years listed. Then we have the area of focus, the skill of responsibility, and the impact, all in one sentence. So if it adds clarity and relevance, keep it. If not, delete it. Okay? Now let's move on to the next section. The work experience or experience section is probably the most important part of your resume. But if you don't have formal work experience yet, simply call it the experience section and include a relevant project. So this could be something you worked on at home or during college. Then you can list the project name, your role, and what you did. For example, you might have researched a relevant topic, led a small team, or presented your findings to your faculty. This shows many qualities that are basically always needed in the workspace. Here's another example, but this time for a more experienced candidate. And if possible, stick to 1, maximum 2 sentences per bullet point to keep your resume readable and easy to scan. See, most recruiters spend only a short amount of time on resumes. We usually scan them in just a few seconds. So when it comes to the work experience section, we mainly look at the company name, job title, and years of employment to assess reliability. Now, once you've got our attention, we then want to see the context behind what you've done. So list the problem you faced, the action you took, and finally the measurable results achieved within a specific time frame. Now, not everyone will be able to write it exactly like this, and that's okay. Keep it simple and try to give as much context as possible. Okay? Now, let's move on to the skills section. Okay, so this section is pretty straightforward. And you can list them one after another like you see in the example. However, if you have enough space left on your resume, you can also extend it to something like this. See, by bold highlighting the skills and tools, recruiters can immediately see what you used, but also what you created with them and for what purpose. However, this example is quite extensive, so if you're more experienced, it's usually better to keep your skills section to just a few lines like you see in this example. Okay, that's it for the skills section. Let's move on. Now, this is what a strong education section can look like. A major simply means a specialized field of study. So if you have one that's relevant to the kind of roles you're applying for, that's just great. And the same goes for a minor or relevant coursework. That said, I found that most candidates actually don't have a focused academic background. In such case, I would recommend taking an online course that's directly relevant to the role you're applying for. On this university's website, for example, you can filter on subject areas and pick one out. And the thing is, you don't need to have completed the course yet. Just be transparent and say that it's an online course and add an expected completion date. And then underneath that, include a short description of what the course covered and what you learned from it. That's enough. Alright, now let's move on to the last part of your resume. Now, if you still have some space left, like you see here, it's definitely not a bad idea to include something that you're passionate about. It just makes the resume a whole lot more personal. Now, take this interested in sentence. Say you're applying for a product management role. Then listing related book titles is definitely a smart thing to do. And sometimes a shared passion or interest even helps break the ice once you get invited to an interview. Now, if you don't have a lot of experience, I strongly recommend keeping your resume to 1 page. If you have 5 or more years of experience, extending it to 2 pages is perfectly fine. Just make sure to give the file a proper name. Start with your first and last name, followed by the word resume. Then go to File and download it as a PDF. Perfect. And that's how you write a resume in 2026. Now make sure to also check out my LinkedIn videos. See, I work as a recruiter and use LinkedIn Recruiter every day. So I know exactly what gets attention and what gets ignored. I want to thank you for watching and I hope to see you in my next video.